into the uterus, and then it is called as IUT. Remember, test tube baby is a very costly process and its success rate is this much only. It's not too high and it is costly also. Now the next thing is generally asked in your MCQs questions and all. So who is the first test tube baby in this world? So Louis Joy Brown was born in 25th of July 1978 in England, and this person developed because of the expert doctors, and those doctors, this doctor got the Nobel Prize also for this, Dr. Edwards and Dr. Steptoe. So these two doctors were responsible for the first test tube baby born in the world. And then in the case of India, it is Kumari Harsha on 6th of August 1986 in Mumbai. Dr. Indira Hinduja was responsible for the first case in our country. But there are, if you check on internet, there are another example mentioned, another name mentioned in the internet somewhere. It is regarding Kanupriya Agrawal. This is the real name. She was called before by the doctors who performed this test tube baby formation. They called her as Durga. On 3rd of October 1978, Kolkata, by Dr. Mukherjee. So there are two cases in India. So it is a clash. It's not clear which one is the real one. So you have to remember both of them. Now after test tube baby, the second method possible is the artificial insemination. So what is artificial insemination? Also called as AI in abbreviation. So artificial insemination, sperm is taken. Now the sperm can be of the donor. That means it can be from a sperm bank. You have seen the Vicky Donor movie. I haven't seen, but I still know the concept and all. So sperm is taken from the donor or from the sperm bank. And then otherwise it is possible sperm can be taken from the husband also. So it depends. If there is a problem with the lady and problem with the husband also, in that case the sperm has to be taken from the donor. If it's possible that maybe husband has a good number of sperm but some problem in the motility of reaching the uterus and all, in that case the husband's sperm can be taken and transferred into the real female partner. That means sperms are taken either from the donor or from the husband, and then they are introduced either into the vagina or into the uterus. So it can be done in vagina also. Now when do you do it in vagina? You all know from 3rd chapter, try to recollect. When sperm they enter through vagina, and their number should be very high in vagina because millions will be killed. And when the time they reach uterus, they are remained only in thousands. So if the number of sperm count, if the sperm count in a husband or in the male partner is less, in that case doctors always suggest for artificial insemination straight into uterus because sperm count is less. So it all depends from case to case which method should be adopted for whom. So the artificial insemination can be done straight into vagina if the sperm count is poor, and it can be done into the if the sperm count is good, and it can be done straight into uterus if the sperm count is less, or motility of the sperm is less, or maybe prostaglandin is not functioning properly, etc., etc. So if it is transferred straight into the uterus, it is called as intrauterine insemination. Please don't get confused with these two things. This is intrauterine transfer of the embryo, and this is the intrauterine insemination. Success rate is again up to 20 to 40%, so more than the test tube baby. Now just remember, if the artificial insemination is done from not from the husband but from a donor, then it is called as AID. Now AID stands for artificial insemination donor. That means donor is used for this artificial insemination. That means sperm bank is used. Next, assisted reproductive technology, which is referred to the infertility patients couple is GIFT. Now it is not ZIFT, this is GIFT. Now what happened in GIFT is, GIFT stands for gamete intrafallopian transfer. So this was zygote intrafallopian transfer. This is gamete intrafallopian transfer. How do you distinguish these two things? This is after fertilization. This is for the fertilization, because this is already fertilized outside by in vitro, And in this method, you are transferring the gametes for in vivo fertilization. In vivo means inside the body of female. So what is gift? Gift is more expensive. Gift is more invasive. Invasive means that you are trying to enter into, that means more surgical or more instruments and all have to be used to insert thing inside. So it is more expensive also, invasive also, when you compare it to IVF or when you compare it to the test tube baby method. But its success rate is more than the test tube baby. And what exactly is done in this is oocytes are taken. Oocytes means the female structure is taken, and sperms, not just one, many sperms are taken, and they are collectively introduced into the fallopian tube. So you have to introduce everything into fallopian tube. Reason could be again many. Sometimes what happen, the female produces a good egg, but fimbriae are not functional. So if the fimbriae don't function, then what has to be done? Collect the egg of the female and collect the sperm of the male, and they both can be introduced into the fallopian tube, that means ampulla isthmus junction, for the fertilization. I hope you are getting this point. So if gamete have some problem, or maybe imagine for a second cilia are not sperm is not functional, in that case also